One thing you keep hearing from almost everyone competing in the World Series of Warzone right now, they don't want the one-shot snipers in. They're all running them, but almost all of them do not want the one-shot snipers in. I'm starting to kind of understand it, because when you think about it, think of like in Verdansk when they had the big tournament. And I just remember it was such a small circle and there were like 70 people left. Just imagine that, everyone in like windows and sniping.
I suspect if they don't ban them right away, if they let people play this World Series of Warzone event, for example, with one-shot snipers, people are going to quickly stop saying this. I do not think they're going to be an issue like everyone else thinks they're going to be an issue. I think these people have Car 98 PTSD. It's very difficult to hit those headshots. And it's going to be especially difficult to hit these headshots on Joe. Activision devs do not play their own game.
3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know.
Because Infinity Ward doesn't tell their consumers anything.
Maybe that'll take some of the sweats away from Shoot House.
You can cope about that, for sure.
Thanks for tweeting, at least. Thanks for doing more than Infinity Ward has done. They just keep tweeting about the soccer bundles in the store.
Things that are bad. We got a couple words. Why don't you kick it off, Tanner?
This is going to be a longer section than the first part you guys heard.
Change it, obviously, of course. We are live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, episode number 322. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Today, I am joined once again by young Tanner. How's the weather back in my homeland? Tanner Dropshot.
Warm, and then it's gonna get cool again. It's like 80. Saturday it's gonna be 90, and then all of next week it's like high 50s, low 60s, and like cloudy and rainy.
That'll be nice for you. It'll be colder for me. I'm
ready for the heat. I don't care. I'm over it. At this point, it's been long enough. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm ready for the sun to come back. I'm fine with it. I don't mind.
Interesting.
Air conditioning, I'll just turn it on.
Yeah, you do have it.
It's
AC,
actually,
unlike me.
It's unironically better when it's 100 degrees here than when it's like 80. Because 80, the house is like a miserable temperature, and you feel like it's not hot enough to run the electricity, so I'm just going to sit here. But when it's 100, I'm like turning that thing on at 6 in the morning, letting it run all day. I'm shivering. So it's actually better when it's hot for me, you know, for me. Not for people working outside doing asphalt recoding or something. You're going to die out there. But for me, it really doesn't matter, so... And my mom's calling me, so hold on. You can keep talking.
Oh, yeah, just answer the phone. That's fine. Fuck you. Anyway. Today, we are doing an episode on the video game franchise Call of Duty. Our 322nd time doing one. Not counting bonus episodes, of course. So welcome to the show. Today we have a few things to talk about. A couple things, a lot of news, or a little bit of news.
It's one
with a lot of
type of news,
a lot of meat. Yeah, a lot of meat in that one piece of news, which we will, of course, get into. But unsurprisingly to anyone who is still playing the game, for the 12 of you who listen to this show, we will talk about that. But first... as always, we have a couple of announcements. So, we sent out the bat signal. We needed some help. We still do, of course. We'll get into it. But, we needed some support, some financial support. We've been going through some hard times. And it looks like we may be at the other end of the tunnel, or at least close to it. Kind of. Well, we've gotten into it. We'll get into having gotten into it in a second. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we asked for some support. We got some, and we love that. Welcome to our new patrons, our new gold patron, Andrew. Thank you very much, buddy. It's normal last name. Totally fine. No avatar. Great. Our new platinum patron, even better, Kyle D. Fantastic. Love that for us. Kyle, welcome aboard, buddy. We also got some new Damascus patrons, the highest tier you can get to. There is an Obsidian patron tier, by the way. It's 50 United States dollars per month.
Are there any slots open on that?
You get nothing for it, but we reserved it to 5 slots.
Yeah, it's full.
So you just got to basically keep going to the website and hoping that you can that someone realizes they're being scammed, so you can step up and be scammed. You get nothing other than bragging rights, but you also get listed above our mods, even in our Discord, which is nice for you. It's fun and exciting. So shout out to our Obsidian patrons, but we haven't gotten any new ones because there are no slots. It's 5 only. It's a prestigious group. Anyways, the highest tier available. Welcome to our new Damascus patrons, Amy M and Mike fucking C. Boy and girl, holy shit. Welcome aboard. And thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy that content you've been getting at the Damascus tier, which we'll get into in a second. But very much, thank you very much, Amy and Mike. Amy's been very pleased with the show lately, by the way.
Yeah,
Tanner.
very
I don't know if
pleased.
you're aware of that.
Oh, I'm aware. Yeah.
A lot of good feedback in the feedback channel. She and her lady friend who live in sin, of course, have been very
See Jesus,
very pleased with all of the content that's not related to Call of Duty we've been doing. So that's that was a joke, obviously. Of course. So anyway, that's glad you've been enjoying it. Glad your lady friend has been as well, Amy. And thank you very much. And Mike, thank you as well, buddy. Very much appreciated. Make sure all of you patrons, by the way, join the fucking Discord and link your accounts, because then you get a special little role, you get new channels, you get new content access. It's great. Anyway, and it's linked everywhere. Figure it out. And don't fucking you dare tell me the link doesn't work. If it doesn't, don't join the Discord. That's where I'm at now. If you can't figure it out, then I don't want you.
Yeah.
I'm not troubleshooting anymore. Or DM Tanner and make him give you a link or something. But I'm done hearing about it.
Oh,
so
speaking of lady friends, I was scrolling through my phone the other day looking at pictures, and I found that screenshot from Stiletto that I had taken of her TikTok comments.
Yeah.
So it was Soul Stiletto. That's her name. Shout out to Soul Stiletto.
Oh, okay. Soul Stiletto.
Real dumb bitch. God, it was so funny. I was sitting there laughing because I was in Joshua Tree and didn't have cell service. So I was just looking through my pictures because I was so bored and there was nothing else to do. And it was just so funny reading her comment because it was on the episode where you farted and then you said something about like, sorry, I had to burp.
It was in a TikTok.
And she comments on it and she was like, that was not a burp. That was obviously a fart. And then she commented like 4 other videos at the same time. Oh my God, it made me laugh though. Her comments were so funny. Upset. I need to send it to you. I think I saved it. Yeah.
So fuck Soul Stiletto. Anyway, you stupid bitch. Anyways, thank you. We also got some new annual patrons getting that fiery discount. Mark A, our new annual gold patron. Thank you very much, young man. I appreciate that. Saving yourself some money, locking it in. Very kind of you. And we got some new annual Damascus patrons as well. Alec G was an annual platinum patron. He said, enough is enough. I need to hear this behind the scenes episode, which we'll get into in a second. I just have to know. So he upgraded to annual Damascus like a fucking god. Let's go, Alec. Thank you very. I hate the name Alec, by the way.
Alec.
Make it Alex or change your name entirely. Yeah, it's an awkward name. Hate it.
It is. It's an interesting one. Yeah, Alec. It's very weird to say. I feel like when you're named Alec, people end up calling you Alex.
Yeah, maybe you deserve that.
I think you do. Yeah. I really think you do.
So fuck your name, Alec. But thanks for the upgrade, buddy. And welcome aboard. Very much appreciated. And a brand new, straight to the top annual Damascus patron, Anthony S. Holy shit, man. He did it. Anthony, welcome aboard, young man. Just locking it in right away. That's the kind of shit we like to see. Anthony, thank you very much, dude. All of you guys, thank you very much. Patreon.com/thedropshot. 5 bonus episodes a month. You get ad-free episodes, which will become more relevant. You get early access as well on those episodes. And we do monthly hangouts for all of our Damascus patrons as well. So a lot of benefits there. There's unique ones for each tier. But you all get ad-free and early access to all the public episodes. So patreon.com/thedropshot, best way to support the show. Thank you to all of you guys. Also, we got a nice little donation, which we are always accepting donations, by the way.
Are we?
Dropshot.com.
Those always open? Okay.
That thing is always open. And Travis B clicked on that link, in fact. He went to the dropshot.com. He found the button. It's obvious. I don't know where it is. I think it's support or donate. You'll figure it out. If you make money to donate, then you're smart enough to figure it out. But yeah, anyway, Travis B was one such person. And he gave us a donation and said, have to show the best gaming podcast some love.
Wow.
What a nice little comment.
Nice little lad, huh?
Just a nice little comment.
Shout out to him, dude. That's huge.
Shout out to him, indeed. He likewise heard our call, heard our plea for cash, frankly. We're just a pass-through entity for the IRS, I guess. But, you know, whatever. We got to do what we got to do. And we appreciated that support. And the amount donated was a substantial amount. I would say.
It's a very big amount. Yeah, I would say.
It's a significant, substantial amount.
It's more than serviceable.
It's a weighty amount. More than serviceable, yes, this is correct. This is the kind of donation we like to fucking see. And it was in real dollars, by the way. And the amount was 150 United States fucking dollars, dude.
Shit.
Holy shit. Travie boy. Long-time listener, by the way. Long-time friend of the pod. Travis, thank you very much, dude. That's extremely generous, extremely gracious. We really appreciate it. We need it. And it has not gone unnoticed. So thank you, sir. You are a god. 150 buckaroos, dude. Huge
King
W. King shit. Did you say gang shit?
No, I said king. You started saying gang after that.
I did, because I thought you said that. And I was going to mindlessly repeat that. But anyway, Travis, thank you very much, dude. That's insane. Really fucking appreciate that. That's super, super generous. So we appreciate that. Speaking of shilling, by the way, speaking of making cash, making that fucking fetty, accruing more commas, as they say in the rap community. Fuck up some commas. That's the first time I ever heard that expression. That one song. I was in college when it was popular.
No idea.
Is it Future? Is Future the guy who had like 500 hit songs in one year a while ago?
Future?
Where every song he had a new song every day, and it was the most popular song on earth. I think it was Future.
I couldn't name a Future song.
Fuck up some commas. Fuck up some commas, yeah. He's also memed. He's the meme where it's like, his meme is like, he has a lot of memes about him, but one of the themes, I think the only theme I see for his memes are that like, bitches ain't shit, basically.
Really?
So it's like,
it sounds like I'll like him then.
Why women deserve less. Other shit like that. Other types of memes of that type.
Fuck up some commas, yeah.
Which we, of course, do not condone. But yeah, that's the first time I heard that fuck up some commas. But anyway, in the interest of fucking up our commas, which is, of course, adding to your bank account. Every 3 digits, you add a comma. At least in the United States. In Britain, they use a comma for a decimal.
Oh, that I don't know if it's...
Can't stand it.
I don't know if it's Britain. I think it's like certain countries or more like the European side. I don't know, but that whenever I see that, I think it's a mistake. It looks bad. It looks so wrong.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's a mistake.
Yeah. Like they do it for like dollar, like their currency, I think. Like if it's just 10, it'll say like 10,0, or it's very weird. I hate it.
Yeah, 10,00. It's really bad.
Fucking cocksuckers.
Yeah, really bad. But anyway, in the interest of accruing more commas, we are now monetized on Kick finally. So let me be clear. We needed 75 followers to monetize on kick.com/the Dropshot podcast. Go follow us. And it took us entirely too long to be monetized on Kick. And it's your guys' fault. So let me also be clear about that. You took too long to get us monetized on Kick, and it happened too late. And you should be ashamed. Now, luckily, we've finally gotten there. But how many commas did we miss out on? Because you dragged your feet. The world will never know. But it's a disaster. But luckily, we finally did it. We finally made it. So we have been and will continue to be multi-streaming when we go live. If you want to watch live, you could watch us live on our YouTube channel. You could watch us live on our website, thedropshot.com, or, and perhaps, ideally, you watch us live on kick.com/thedropshot podcast. Why is that? Because if you give us money on kick.com, we get 95% of the money you spend. And it simply doesn't get better than that. It doesn't. It might be better than that on PayPal in a donation. I'm actually not sure. But it might not be. It's good enough. Let's put it that way. It's good enough. So if you wanted to waste some money, gift someone a membership or a sub, or bits, fuck Twitch. Don't do Kick. Join the Patreon and then do Kick. That's what we would like to see. But we are officially monetized on Kick. In celebration of this fact, we are asking for 100 Kick subscriptions this episode. That is the
24
goal.
So far.
Nope, we have zero, actually.
We have zero, yeah. Sorry.
We have not gotten a Kick subscription yet. Stop, Tanner. And I'll edit that out. And the jury will strike that from the record. We have not gotten any Kick subs yet. And we demand 100 this episode. Okay. We demand 100.
Got it.
Or there won't be another episode. There won't be a Saturday episode.
So yeah, there may not be. We don't have any ideas what to do. So
we'll get into that in a second. Fuck up our commas. Go to kick.com/thedropshot podcast. Give us a follow and sub or gift subs. Either way, it's fine. There's no ads. The video quality's sensational. I mean, what you're supporting gambling. You're ruining the lives of people you don't know. What's not to like? I don't know what's not to like. So figure it the fuck out. But we are officially monetized on Kick finally. So if you're one of the people who followed, you should have done it sooner.
It took actually like 14 days too long to get 75.
Unironically.
It's insane.
Yeah, I expected it to be done in 2-3 days.
Yeah, same. Oh, fuck you guys.
So you guys don't like us, and that's fine. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, if you do have a Kick account, in all seriousness, you can watch us live there now as well. We will, for the foreseeable future, be multi-streaming there as well. And we have like both chats pulled up also. So you can chat on our website or YouTube or on Kick, and we see it all. We see each and everything. Jake, you said sick link. Does that imply one of our links is broken? Do you know what he's talking about?
Probably talking about how I typed the dropshot.com and it didn't link it.
Oh, I see. Okay, good. All right. Because anyway, it doesn't matter. Couple other announcements. Last Patreon topic we did was our behind the scenes episode. We had planned also on doing a gold episode yesterday, which would have gone live today, but we're instead going to get some more gameplay under our belts and then bang out 2 on Friday. What?
Nothing. We just got Kick subs.
Oh. I don't see it on this screen. That's why. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So our last Patreon episode was behind the scenes. Once again, we will have 2 more, our next 2 gold episodes, going live this weekend, pretty much back to back. So it's going to be like right at the end of the month, which is frankly par for the course. We decided instead of recording yesterday, we were just going to do a marathon gaming session, which is what we did. And it was fine. We'll get into that on Friday.
I was having fun. Could be a skill issue on your part. I don't know.
I didn't not have fun, but there were peaks and valleys. We'll put it that way.
You said you didn't have fun a few times, I think. Yeah.
we'll get. Yeah, there were a couple times where I was not having fun, but there were times when I was.
For sure.
Oh, of course I did.
That was a fun session yesterday. I thought we played for a long time for us.
Yeah, we played
for playing Warzone straight. That was a long session.
Yeah,
5 hours.
Yeah,
I would have kept going, but everyone left.
Quite a while. What was I gonna say? But yeah, we've got some notes down already. Those will be coming out this weekend. But our behind the scenes is now live, and if you are a Damascus patron, you have access to behind the scenes episodes. And it was a long one as well. That was like a 2-hour episode. And we talked a lot about the reason behind our cries for help, our pleas for help, which was that essentially we just like lost a bunch of sponsors at the same time. So if you wanted to know, the ins and outs of why we've been begging for money lately, go listen to that behind the scenes episode. We go into very great detail there. And if you're interested in like streaming or the business side of things, that episode might be interesting to you as well for that reason. We've talked about things like that before in behind the scenes episodes, and people who do stream and shit have told us like, oh, that's super cool. Or like, this is super interesting just to get some insight into how this shit works as a listener who is trying to get into YouTubing or live streaming or whatever. There was a lot of like business talk in there, which it's about us. Obviously I found it interesting, but I think a lot of you guys would find it interesting as well. And we've already gotten quite a bit of good feedback on that. So if you're a Damascus patron, you can listen to that now. And if you're not, you can become one and go listen to it. But it is now live. What did you say, buddy? I didn't hear you. Sorry.
No, I was just saying it did get a lot of feedback. Yeah, a lot of feedback on that app.
How'd you like that sucker?
Thought it was a banger. Yeah, put a lot of info in there. Everyone seemed to enjoy it. Probably the most, I don't know if I'd use the word exciting, the busiest behind the scenes episode we've had in 4 or 5 months or so. Not necessarily the most exciting thing though, because it was pretty fucking dog shit for a while. The stuff, like not what we were talking about, but the stuff that was happening was miserable and dog shit for a while. And we're just about hopefully over it. But yeah, I thought it was a solid episode. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure. So the TLDR, basically, for those of you who maybe are curious, is that we had a couple sponsors that, for I don't think through really any fault of our own, we kind of just lost. Some temporarily, some permanently. But luckily that opened another door. When one door closed, another door opens. It opened another door for us. And the other door was a better door, frankly. Probably. So yeah, if you want more details on that, you can go listen to that behind the scenes episode. But here's another announcement I'm going to make. We have a new deal. And we will probably do a more official kind of announcement once everything is completely finalized, but the contract has been signed, with a new network, a new podcasting network. And everything looks very good. Again, the details are in the behind the scenes if you want to go listen to it. But one thing that will likely happen as a result of this is you will, if you are listening on the public RSS feed. So in other words, if you're listening on YouTube, you're getting YouTube ads. That's not changing. But if you're listening on Patreon to our, like the early access feed, there still will remain no ads there. But if you're listening any other way, then you're going to probably experience some more ads than you've been experiencing. So I'm just warning you now. I'm not sure exactly how that will work. I'm not sure the degree to which that's going to kick up. And it will also maybe be dependent on where you live and your demographic. I don't really know. The dynamic ad shit is very complicated and sophisticated. So I can't tell you what your experience is going to be. But be warned, there might be more ads now in our public feed. If you wanted to get around that, this is why we have the option of our Patreon. If all you really care about is just listening with no ads, it's $5 per month on Patreon to listen to every single episode we do with 0 ads. And you get them earlier than you are getting them now also. So if the ads suddenly become overwhelming for you or too much, $5 a month, that's really not that much money. And it helps us tremendously. And you would experience no more ads. It would be that simple. And on top of that, you'd get 3 bonus episodes per month if you were into that sort of thing. So keep that in mind. There's the warning, but this is a good move for us by all accounts. So, and again, if you want more details, go listen to that behind the scenes episode. Speaking of the Patreon, we're going to do definitely we're going to do one more brainstorm episode about Warzone generally, I think. And I think we are also going to maybe talk about X-Defiant, which is all the rage right now, and COD killers in general. All these video games that come out that say they are going to dethrone COD. If you're following me on Twitter, you probably already know my opinion on this, but you probably don't know why. My opinion on X-Defiant is the same as every other FPS game that's come out that is the COD killer. No, it's not, actually. Oops. And I want to talk about that in much greater detail, and I think that would be a very interesting episode. For those of you who are here live, I was talking about this a lot in the pre-show, so if you're a YouTube member, you can go watch the VOD and listen for a little sneak peek. But there is a ton to say on that topic that I think is very interesting, especially for a lot of you who are taking a break from Call of Duty right now, and maybe you're playing X-Defiant instead. If you're having fun, I'm happy for you. I'm glad, but it won't last, and I will explain to you why. Now, that episode we are definitely going to be doing. That sounds really interesting to me. And it won't just be about X-Defiant. It's going to be about that and COD killers in general. Just the whole idea of them. The question I have that we don't know the answer to yet, Tanner and I will let you know, is whether we are doing this on Saturday or if we're going to make this a Patreon bonus episode. Not really sure, but we will have an answer soon, because today is, of course, Thursday. What are your thoughts on this, Tanner Dropshot?
Dropshot? I don't know if we should do it on Patreon or publicly. I don't know. We asked for public episode suggestions, too, on Twitter. We got a lot of suggestions. Some of them we liked. We didn't exactly have the most time this week, though, because we had to play the game a lot to record the 3 episodes and then do 2 podcast episodes. So 4 recordings on Saturday, what we have to do. So I don't know exactly how we're going to do it. But yeah, we did have some good ideas on Twitter. I just don't think this is the week to put the time in them. Like, a lot of people want a Caldera versus Warzone 2 episode for us to go back and play Caldera. And I really want to do that, but it's definitely not happening this week because we need to record 2 episodes tomorrow. Not reinstalling Caldera and playing it for hours this week, but I want to do that at some point. So I think there's a lot of little things we've probably forgotten about Caldera, or not Caldera, but Warzone 1, where if we go back, we think, oh shit, yeah, that was a lot better in Warzone. Why isn't that not in this game? Like the floating loot that's in Warzone 1, where it's easy to see, it's easy to pick up. In this game, there's a dog tag that's the size of a pebble on the ground that you have to look at, zoom in with a 12 times thermal scope to spot on the ground if you want to pick it up. Shit like that. So I think there's a lot of things we can go back and talk about that was much better in Warzone 1, maybe some things that are worse. But that can't happen this Saturday. So I like the X-Defiant COD Killer episode idea. I think we will for sure do that. Patreon or publicly. I don't know which one, though. I don't know. That will be a banger episode either way, though.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
I don't know how we're going to do that, but...
So we'll figure that out. Yeah, we'll let you guys know pretty soon. The latest you'll find out is obviously Saturday.
Patreon gone public.
Yeah.
Huh? That's a thought.
On the topic of... That's an interesting idea. On the topic of... playing Warzone 1 again. Yeah, a lot of you guys wanted that for this Saturday. We did not have the time this Saturday. If you listen to the behind the scenes, you have some idea why we've been doing that. And also, yeah, we have a lot to do for Warzone 2 as well. So, we just didn't have the time. Maybe we'll do that soon. I have fucking no interest in playing Warzone 1 again, but if you guys really want to hear the episode, I'll do it. but not this Saturday. That's not happening this Saturday. So we'll see when that happens, but I think eventually we will. It's probably a good idea. My only thing is that, like, I already know what I'm going to say, pretty much. And maybe playing it will remind me of some other things, but yeah, it's just not this Saturday. That's the only thing. So if you're listening for the jingle, here it is.
Okay, we had a lot here. Pib, thanks for the $5 donation. Appreciate that, buddy. H with another gifted sub on Kick to Bandit. Fuck Bandit. Chris subscribed on Kick, and also Raz was begging. Chris is trying to give us. He's helping us get to that 100 sub mark for the episode today.
Is he?
So we're gonna play the sax here. Chris has gifted 50 subscriptions on kick.com/the Dropshot podcast. That is $20 million. 18 bucks on Twitch, 20 million on Kick. Holy shit, Chris.
Support
Let's go.
Gambling. You will win.
He was just complaining about how Kick, well, he's not complaining, but saying that Kick is going to go under soon. So he's getting us that money before they do. I appreciate that very, very much, Chris. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, baby.
50 gifted subs on Kick. Holy shit, man. You guys are nuts.
That is insane, yeah. Very
So
kind
we're only
of
at
you.
50 total today. Definitely not at 76 or so. We're at 50 total.
Yeah, I don't know where you got the 76
So we need 50
number.
more.
That's very random.
Yeah,
but we need 50 more subs.
Yeah.
Chris getting us started. Thank you very much, dude. That's all very generous. And you will be pleased to know we're getting almost all of that cash you just pissed into the wind.
Yeah.
So, and we'll put it to good use. Just kidding. It's all going to the IRS. Fuck the Fed and end it. Chris, thank you very much. That's extremely giga generous, as always. And that's very kind of you. And support gambling. Thank you very much. All right. With that said, Pib, thank you as well for the $5 super chat, by the way. Again, buddy. Much appreciated. Let's get into the program, the broadcast, the video game franchise, Call of Duty. Womp, womp, womp. So, first section here, patch notes, changes already in effect. Once again, not too much, although there is something a little meaty here. I'm going to pull these up here. Season 3 patch notes. There was a patch yesterday, or excuse me, on Tuesday. Wait, what? Tuesday, April 26th. Yeah, April 26th was Wednesday, so the patch notes are wrong when they just say the date. That's cool.
Really?
Great. Yep. Because there was a patch Tuesday, April 25th, and then also Tuesday, April 26th, according to Call of Duty. So good job, COD. Yeah. You guys are fucking awesome and good at your jobs.
They're pretty good.
For sure. Yeah, they're pretty good. So Tuesday, April 25th, they had a patch. And I'm going to read through these things here. Reduce the number of lasers in loadouts in gunfight. Good change, actually. There were entirely too many. Infinity Ward does not listen to this podcast, but I guess they were getting a lot of feedback on that. I'm surprised they reduced the number of lasers. First of all, I'll ask this. Do you think that's real? Do you think they actually did?
Maybe. Yeah. Where are you seeing? This is on the April 25th one?
Yes, correct. Second one.
There we go. Okay. I don't
see. So that's a good change, because there were entirely too many, which we talked about. But
there were way too many.
So if that's actually true, that's a good change to gunfight for sure. Especially with the laser changes they made, which were fucking insane. Added more ammo caches to Zaya Observatory and Ground War. Okay, cool. And then a bunch of bug fixes. And then also next section here, Warzone 2.0. This is a big one. Moved killstreak banners again to reduce reticle overlap on screen. And this time they actually did it, ladies and gentlemen. They did it enough. The killstreak banners are now in an acceptable location on my user interface. When we were playing yesterday with Jake had it was an epiphanous moment. He's mounted in a window shooting at some kids in the street because Jake's kind of like a camper shitter, doesn't move his character. And someone called a precision airstrike on our building. And Jake said, "Oh my God," like all dramatic. And then Tanner immediately figured out why he said it. He's like, "Yeah, dude, they actually moved it enough. They moved the kill streak banner enough." Now, let me be clear. Good
Just because they moved it lower. Who would have thought? Who would have thought I'd rather have it under my reticle? That's crazy, right? Thanks. Fucking idiots.
Yeah. Did they? Is that what they did? They moved it under the reticle?
Yeah. It's way under. Okay. Yeah.
I just noticed it wasn't in my fucking face. Yeah, okay. Good. Either way, the fact that I don't know where it is means it's in the correct spot. It's that simple. Just don't have it where I'm aiming. So yeah, underneath is actually probably ideal, in fact. So that's
definitely.
Yeah, that's a very good change. Now let me be clear. There's no universe where they're ever forgiven for having moved it before and then also not moved it enough. That will never not be a perfect example of how incompetent this dev studio is. That never should have happened, and you can't fix that mistake. So just keep that in mind. This doesn't make it better that a dev made the conscious decision to move the killstreak banner and then didn't move it enough. That is a perfect symbol of how Activision devs don't play their own game. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. With that said, it is now in a good location. Another thing I want to say, though, while we're at it, while we're fixing the UI, there are other UI elements I noticed a few times yesterday that were pissing me directly the fuck off. And I don't remember what they were, but they are still in a bad spot. I think it might be Gulag closing. No, yeah, maybe it's no.
Respawn disabled or something.
Respawn disabled. It is probably that, or I don't know if there's also a banner on your screen or words on your screen when the circle is closing or circle's moving or something.
I think loadout inbound puts one on your screen, doesn't it?
I think that as well.
Yeah, and those are still basic. Those are right above your reticle for some reason. Yeah, any banner like that should not be anywhere on the top half of my screen unless it's all the way at the top.
That's correct.
Pretty simple, right?
It's incredibly simple. And I noticed this yesterday because kill streaks were no longer in my way, and I was very pleased with that. And then Resurgence was disabled, and it was directly on my reticle again. So let's just move all those things to where the kill streak banner currently is now. We're so close, devs. But again, you guys don't play your own game, so you don't know that. Maybe they do play the game, but they've never been in a match of Resurgence long enough for Resurgence to have been disabled. They just get squad wiped before that point. That is maybe what's going on. Maybe they don't know where the banner is.
Yeah.
But move it.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. Pretty simple. I actually died one time yesterday because of this, by the way. I don't remember what the words were that didn't matter and I didn't need to know were, but they were directly in front of the guy I was trying to shoot, and I died.
Could be when the data heist shit starts happening, too. That could be in the middle of your screen.
Could be all of those things, yeah.
Let's be clear. They moved the airstrike banner down, but every other thing they put on your screen to tell you, like, of something happening, of some event happening, is still in the same spot. Yeah. So, that's great. Maybe it's like, yeah, it could be a million things. They're probably all there. Like when there's a restock event, shit like that.
Yeah.
Precision airstrike was the worst one, though. It was the lowest.
And because there are too many kill streaks in this game. So, and it was, yeah. So anyway.
How many counter UAVs would you say we had called on us yesterday during our session? 30?
Oh my God.
Probably 30 in the hours.
Probably actually like 30. Yeah.
Fuck, it's miserable.
It's so bad. So bad. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah. The one good change, but they still have so far to go. Ranked ready, by the way. Updated audio for opening loot caches. I didn't notice that.
I did not notice that whatsoever.
Something that didn't need to change that they changed.
Actually.
So, yeah. Anyway. And then some more bug fixes that I'm not going to read because they're probably not real. So that was Tuesday, April 25th. And then the next day, also Tuesday, April 26th, there was another update. So playlist update. We got solos, trios, and quads of Al Mazrah, not duos. Why? No reason. Once again, no reason provided, no explanation given. They don't tell you why, they just randomly don't allow one of the 4 types, but they don't, so that's great. And then Ashika Island, there is all 4, solos, duos, trios, and quads. In addition, we got a returning fan, I don't know if it's a fan favorite.
Shitter
favorite. It's a shitter favorite for sure.
Yeah.
Al Mazrah Plunder Quads is in the game. We're back with Plunder, baby. Now, Plunder is a game mode that is giga casual. It's as casual as you can get if you're playing in the Warzone section of Call of Duty. And it had really 2 uses as far as I could tell in Warzone 1. Use number 1 was for giga casuals to play and have fun. That's cool. And it's a perfectly good game mode for that type of thing. Very relaxed. You drop in with your loadout right away. You loot money, you put it in a helicopter or something, and then you win. And then the second use case, which I think is much more relevant to most of the listeners of this podcast, is for leveling guns quickly when you don't want to play multiplayer, and or it might be faster to level guns in Plunder than it is in multiplayer. The way it worked in Warzone 1 was that if you wanted to mindlessly level your guns fairly quickly, go play Shipment 24/7. If you really wanted to speed run leveling your guns in Warzone 1, you would go play Plunder, get in a chopper, and just do contracts with the gun in your hand. And it took more effort, but it also leveled your gun faster.
You would also accidentally win over the people that were sweating, trying to get money and trying to win.
That would also
you would suddenly notice, oh shit, I'm first place and I didn't even realize I collected any money yet. Yeah, that's how casual it is.
So I don't know if that's how it will work in Warzone 2. I suspect the capacity to level guns faster in Plunder than in multiplayer was unintended, and from a business perspective, you would want the paid experience to be the faster way to level things. So I don't know if that's going to carry over, but Plunder is now in the game. So if you want to level guns and you don't own multiplayer, this is a very good option as well.
It's 120 players. I wonder what Plunder was on, like, in Warzone 1, if it was less than normal BR modes.
That's a great question. I have no idea.
I wonder if this is already a hint that my theory will be coming soon of them dropping the player counts on Al Mazrah because their servers are dog shit and can't handle 150 players. Because 120 was the player count at the in Caldera. That's what it ended up being for BR, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's a great question.
I wonder.
And I don't have any idea because I was not a Plunder main. Although we were Plunder mains for like a week, remember? I think we played with Ben too, didn't we? Or Itchy? Or maybe not.
I have no idea.
I don't know. But we were Plunder mains. But yeah, then it got boring.
Makes you feel good about yourself. Obviously. The players are dog shit. So
it definitely does. Well. If you need a confidence,
no skill-based matchmaking,
it
seems.
Yeah. So anyway, that was kind of the big thing here. But I'll keep scrolling a little bit. Plunder returns. You drop in with your loadie. Blah blah blah. That's pretty much it. Yeah. So Plunder's back.
Oh, and also now regular standard trios is now out in favor of the World Series of Warzone trios playlist. They just put that in like an hour ago. So that's going to be extremely sweaty because that follows their rules, which I don't even know what the difference are. I haven't been following. I don't really care. But there's a few restrictions, I think, in World Series of Warzone. Don't remember what they were. But yeah, the biggest thing is that they took out Al Mazrah Resurgence, which is getting a lot of flack on the TL because a lot of people really like that. In fact, a lot of the big Resurgent streamers ended up saying they think Al Mazrah Resurgence is a lot more fun than Ashika even. So they were all pissed about that. I thought it was
pretty fun, server issues aside.
It was hard to get a good grip of it because the server issues were miserable the times we played it, so it made me not want to try it again. But it was, like, the one time I played it without major server issues, it was a lot of fun, so that sucks that that's gone, but I mean, I expected that. That won't stay in forever anyway. So hopefully they bring that back often, though, rotate that out.
Yeah.
So it's in a couple weeks out of every month. It'll never be back, I'm sure. So yeah.
Yeah, it is weird that it seems like Mazra Resurgence was a lot more well received than Verdansk Resurgence was. Because they did that on Verdansk too.
Well, people liked Verdansk
people
and
just
the game
didn't
at
really
the time.
play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just
people
would rather
don't
play
like
BR,
Mazra. They don't like Warzone 2, so they like that more.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So anyway, yeah, that is in. Speaking of this World Series of Warzone thing, do we have anything on that? Because I don't know how the fuck this works. Because I remember in Warzone 1, there was like the World Series of Warzone playlist. And if you like did really well, you could qualify for the online tournament. Is that
it's
how
something
this
like
works?
that? Yeah.
Or is it just like a CDL playlist in MW19 where it's the rule set, but it's not like you're not qualifying for anything?
The in-game open starts tomorrow and runs until Sunday.
So right now it's just like practicing the rule set, basically.
3 players, your best of 10 games. I think it has to be the same 3 players in a squad too.
For tomorrow, for the event.
Yeah.
So for right now, it's probably just kind of like a practice thing, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, and then here, okay, yeah, it started today, but the actual in-game competition will be starting tomorrow. Your 10 best scoring games will be scored. The top 50 scoring trios will advance to qualifiers, then go on from there. Blah blah. Yeah. And there's like a multiplier. 1 kill is a point. First place, you get a double 2 times multiplier. Then like second through fifth, it's like 1.8. Then it goes 1.6 multiplier. All the way to 35th place, you get a multiplier of 1.2.
Okay. Yeah. So we don't have anything really written down on this in our notes, but we're going to move on to news and upcoming changes, and we'll just start with this. Yeah. So the public playlist is now live. It seems to be right now, that's the way to play trios. It's going to have additional restrictions. So for example, there are not actually that many differences, but there are a couple. One of them is that it's trios only. Another one is that the big heavy chopper is not in that mode. Do you have the document pulled up? Can you tell us what the other differences are?
I'm on their website. Let me see. If they register on game battles, let's see. Where does it talk about restriction? This is all just how the placement works.
I'll try and look it up.
Tournaments.
Sorry, guys.
It takes you to fucking game battles website too. Tournament rules. You click on that and it doesn't. Okay, that takes you to another link. It's a 100-page document, so I'm not reading it. It's like literally.
Yeah, it's fine. I got it.
It's a 50-page document, this thing.
I got it. So yeah, it's trios only. That's one of the things for the World Series of Warzone. And this is almost certainly going to carry over to ranked when ranked comes out, by the way. That's what's important about this. So it's trios only. There are no turreted vehicles. So any vehicle that's in Warzone pubs that has a mounted machine gun will not exist in World Series of Warzone. And there are no in-match, and there's no heavy chopper, once again, and there are no in-match events. So there's not going to be a fire sale, a jailbreak, a restock, and you can't do the nuke contract. That is it. So there are some other rules, I think. It's set, like there's a separate link to the full rule set, but the full rule set just entails the scoring system.
Yeah.
As far as gameplay, I think those are the only differences, which, to be clear, I like. I think that's a perfect way to do the rules, because in multiplayer, fucking multiplayer search and destroy is actually like a different video game than pub search and destroy. I don't love that. It's way too different for me. Now that's, I guess, fine, but I would prefer the casual experience to be as similar to the ranked experience as possible. And I think if you are the event promoter, you should feel the same way, because it's very hard to to LARP as Scump in your pub search lobby when it's 6v6 instead of 4v4.
Yeah.
And you're also using a fire shotgun, and you're also using shock sticks, and you also have fucking tune-up and ghost and shit. And like none of those things are in, and there's no friendly fire. Like and other things. There are so many differences that you can't really LARP as Scump unless you go play like ranked multiplayer, which I guess is fine. But
yeah.
In this, it's very similar. And the only things they restricted, I think, make sense to restrict. Turreted vehicles, dog shit. Heavy chopper, dog shit. In-match events, dog shit. I would argue I would like these rules in regular fucking Warzone. Let's take turreted vehicles out of Warzone. That's what I would like. Let's take the heavy chopper out of pubs Warzone. I'd like that too. Only thing I'm iffy on is the in-match events. I think I would want those to stay in pubs and those to not be in ranked.
Yeah.
But besides that, I think it's very similar, and I quite like that.
Yeah,
cool.
The one thing you keep hearing from almost everyone competing in the World Series of Warzone right now, like the big names that are going to be in the finals, they don't want the one-shot snipers in. Like, I haven't seen anyone say. They're all running them, but almost all of them do not want the one-shot snipers in. And I guess...
I'm shocked at that.
I'm starting to kind of understand it, because when you think about it, think of like in Verdansk when they had the big tournament, and I just remember it was such a small circle and there were like 70 people left. Just imagine that, everyone in like windows and shit sniping. It is boring from a viewer perspective, but also, you know what? Even if they don't have snipers, they're not going to move. They're still going to play that way.
They're going to play.
So I don't know if it does
yeah.
affect it at all. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not playing in the World Series of Warzone, so I truly don't care either way. But I just keep seeing that that's the one thing they all want, and most of them actually are saying they don't want one-shot snipers in ranked either. So I don't know. I mean, they're difficult to use, and especially a lot of these guys that are on controller, hitting a shot on a moving target from like 100 meters when you're on controller, even if you're that good, that's not easy to do. That's not that easy to do with these guns. So, or with these snipers, I mean, with the explosive rounds. So I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm just letting you know. Seems like most of them do not want one-shot snipers in ranked, or definitely not the World Series of Warzone.
Yeah, one thing that it does, I think, is it gives a pretty significant advantage to KBAM that it's never had before. Because in Warzone 1, with one-shot snipers, the input method for the Car 98 didn't matter. It was just as easy.
Yeah, insane.
And in fact, you got aim assist with a car. So it was maybe arguably in favor of controller. Probably not. It was probably about even. But with how difficult the snipers are in this game, the advantage sniping absolutely goes to keyboard and mouse. Whereas the advantage up close absolutely goes to controller. I think that's like a fair little compromise, but putting the input method aside, because everyone in the World Series of Warzone is going to be on the toy anyway. I do not understand why people are so worried about this, and I suspect if they don't ban them right away, if they let people play this World Series of Warzone event, for example, with one-shot snipers, people are going to quickly stop saying this, because I do not think they're going to be an issue like everyone else thinks they're going to be an issue. I think these kids, excuse me. I think these people have Car 98 PTSD, and if they factored into account how much more difficult it is to get a headshot in Warzone 2 than it was in Warzone 1, that they will realize once they've played with it for a while that it's actually not that big of a deal. And I don't think anyone's going to be one-shot sniping anyway, honestly, because it's very difficult to hit those headshots. And it's going to be especially difficult to hit these headshots on fucking Jowo and other really good players. They're not going to just stand still and let you dap them
When
up.
you think late game, they will be. They'll all be on roofs and windows, things like that. So there will be a lot of just sitting still and one shots. But on the moving targets, it's like earlier in the game, yeah.
I don't know, though, because they're going to be shooting back. And with the amount of flinch, you're not going to be able to snipe at all late game. The only way is if you're going to see someone who doesn't see you. But yeah, I don't know. I see what you're saying. Like, there's some truth to that, probably. I don't think they're going to be as big of an issue as all these pros are making it out to be. That's my point.
The thing is, for me, I think these decisions should be left up to those people that are playing it. I think, just like the CDL, 99.9% of kids in the CDL probably want red dots on the minimap. Infinity Ward, there's a setting for them. They can turn them on. The Call of Duty League chooses not to because they follow how the game works. My thought is, let the people competing make the decisions for themselves. And I think that's how it should be in the World Series of Warzone. But it's hard to do that because it's like an open. You can't exactly do that. But if almost all of them want snipers removed, then I think they should ban snipers. Just for them, not necessarily for rank. But for that tournament, how they want to see it play, they're the ones playing. I think they should make those decisions. So, I don't know.
That's interesting. I might agree with that. But my only caveat would be, how about you guys try it for a little while first, and if you still think they're as big of a problem as you think they are now,
they've been playing custom tournaments like the last 3 or 4 days straight. Yeah, and I think that's why everyone's complaining.
I should watch some of those games.
Yeah, I watched a few streams. Every single guy I saw was carrying a sniper. Yep.
Were they hitting shots?
I mean, it was so boring and ratty and slow, so I didn't need. Warzone 2 is so fucking boring to watch. Holy shit, man.
Yeah, I could be wrong about how they actually play, so I don't know. But we'll see. For now, snipers are in, though. So, yeah. On the topic of the World Series of Warzone, here's how, basically, again, to recap how that's going to work, is there is a playlist right now. If you want to play trios, you have to play with that restricted rule set. And then there's going to be an event going on for, 2 days, 4 hours each day or something like that, where you pick your squad, you play, and then the top ranking competitors of those teams that participate online are then going to be invited to a World Series of Warzone online tournament of some kind at a later date. Yeah. So these are basically opens. They're open qualifiers. So if you wanted to do that, you could. And let me remind you guys, this was done, I think, only once before that I can recall anyway. I think it was only once they've done this before. And can anyone guess what happened? Because we told them what was going to happen before it happened.
Everyone cheats.
Here's what happened. Everyone was cheating. Yeah. It was the Rebirth Island Open, World Series of Warzone sanctioned, and they had the online qualifiers or whatever. Everyone who qualified, turns out, was fucking cheating. And then when they went to the event itself, there were a couple of popular streamers or whatever that were just getting utterly gapped by people no one's ever heard of because they don't stream and they cheat. Is the same thing going to happen here? Is the question. What do you think?
Was there a LAN for World Series of Warzone? I thought it was all online. I don't think there was a LAN for it.
I don't think for the Rebirth one there was. Or maybe there was. But there was the Open, and then there was another event that was also online where everyone who qualified played in, and they were cheating. And then I think maybe after that there were a bunch of manual bans, and then there was a third event.
Yeah.
Of qualifiers from the people who qualified initially. And then that might have been a LAN.
Okay, World Series of Warzone was all LAN, according to Jakin. He follows that stuff. It was all online. It was no LAN.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's been tournaments like that. It wasn't for this one, though, I don't think. But yeah, I already saw, I don't remember who it was, but I saw, maybe it was FIFA or Unrational or someone. I saw someone come up on my feed that said something about all these kids trying to cheat in these custom tournaments right now. They were like, good luck when it actually comes to making it there and having to do that shit on LAN because it's not going to work. So why are you cheating right now? Why are you bothering to do this? Why are you wasting your time when you're going to get caught? And when you go to LAN, you're not going to perform. Yeah. And that's the thing. Yeah. That's what these kids, they're so dumb, man. They don't ever think of that.
So this event will be going to LAN.
I think so.
Okay.
I think there is some sort of LAN for it at the end, isn't there? Yeah, no, I really haven't cared about it at all this year because Warzone's boring to watch.
That's the thing.
I just haven't been following any of the World Series of Warzone stuff. I couldn't care less. We talked about it a lot last year, but it's just don't care this year.
Ranked ready.
LAN finals, yeah. Okay.
LAN finals, okay, yeah.
Global final.
I'm very curious to see how they handle this. Now, to be clear, cheating has been less of an issue, no doubt, in this game than Warzone 1, but I still think there is a significant cheating problem, particularly wallers. And I just don't think... I think everyone who qualifies online is going to be walling. Or a pro player you've already heard of.
We died to some kid yesterday that Jake, you, and myself all thought was cheating, and we all thought it was the same guy, yeah. And it was same thing. He's like rank 600, obviously good, just watching us through walls, know exactly the right angle to peek when he's coming around corners every time. Laying prone, he comes around already looking at the ground. He's fucking walling, yeah. And this kid's such a high level, he probably has an insane KD. Walling his ass off, hasn't been banned.
Killed rank both 600. You and me through a thick plume of smoke also.
Yeah, I'm in a building, I'm laying prone. I'm at Twin Towers on Ashika. I'm laying prone. There's no UAV, nothing going on. I'm waiting for them to come down the stairs or something, maybe, because they were like all on the roof. They kept shooting people. Dude comes around the corner to the bottom floor of Tilted Towers on Ashika. He comes around looking directly at my head as I'm laying on the ground prone. I had been there for 10, 15 seconds, not moving, not making a sound. And he comes around peeking, didn't miss by a millimeter, the exact spot that I was laying prone on the ground when he didn't even know I came in, let alone know I was in that room or know that I was prone, perfectly watching me. He kills me later through smoke. He kills Raz through smoke. We ended up killing him. I think Bandit got him or something.
We won that game, yeah.
Yeah, we ended up winning that game. The kid was walling his ass off, so obviously. And he's like rank 600, still hasn't been banned by Ricochet. Probably never will be. I spam reported him like 10 times.
I reported him as well.
Maybe it worked. Who knows?
Hopefully.
He got voice chat banned, probably.
Yeah, he probably got voice chat banned, even though he doesn't have a mic.
Yeah, thanks Activision for allowing those reports.
Good job, Ricochet, yeah. Yeah, Ricochet is not a kernel-level anti-cheat, by the way. It does something, but it doesn't sniff kernels like they said it does. Another Infinity Ward psyop of who knows how many they have. But anyway. Yeah, so that event will be interesting. I will be interested once the because I'm not going to watch people, I'm not going to watch Breadman qualify for World Series of Warzone online. I don't find that very interesting.
Yeah.
But once it gets to the LAN finals, I am actually quite excited to watch
that'll be exciting. And that's not until, I think it said September, actually. Global.
Oh, that far away?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I think it said September. It also doesn't even say on the website that it's LAN. It just says global final.
Interesting. Yeah.
Where is it?
Once it gets to the more custom tournaments and it's out of the open stage, I am excited to see how those lobbies play, particularly with snipers. I want to see if these people bitching are correct about that or not. I don't know. But either way, that's the news there. So we got some other news items to get into here. What do we got, Tanner Dropshot?
Yeah. One of them, I guess we could have put this in the patch notes section. They dropped Plunder yesterday, and Plunder for a few hours, the stats were counting towards regular BR. So I don't know if that's been reverted. If you went in Plunder and went 300-0, your KD may still be insane in Warzone. Not that anything matters anymore. They don't release the API, so no one knows the KD of lobbies or anything because they don't want you to know. Let's be super clear. That's why they did not release the API, because all you heard last year was talking about skill-based matchmaking, the lobby KD makeup in Caldera, etc. So that's why they're not releasing the API. And they never will going forward because they don't want that to happen because it proves skill-based matchmaking exists. But yeah, so that was counting towards that. And supposedly this morning they did fix that. There is a Plunder tab now when it comes to your stats. So cool if you care about your Plunder stats, go out there and get a 20 KD or something.
Yeah.
Moving on. So I don't know if you guys remember back in December, November, maybe before MW came out, we had talked about there was a leak from some guy, and they've actually been Ghost of Hope. He's been right about more things this year. But he said something about
maybe
custom CDL blueprints this year. Teams are designing their own shit. So we're like, oh, that sounds dope. They get to do whatever they want.
Ooh.
The game releases, and they're the same dog shit, boring blueprints, basic CDL uniforms we've always had. So we're like, oh, I guess that was wrong. So no, that leak ended up being correct. And just now, finally, they are coming out. These drop May 2nd. I have them pulled up on the screen. These are your 2023 team packs that are going on sale. These are custom designed by the teams. I don't think there's like uniforms, like operator skins. I think it's just the weapon skins. But these are fucking dope. These are very, very cool. I'm so glad they're finally doing this, letting the teams design their own.
Yeah.
So every team, full customization, whatever they want. So like the phase one, I think, has kind of like red diamonds on it. It's got like a lot of red and like pinkish colors. The Boston Breach one. Yeah, it's got a bunch of pills on there.
Spilled over. Some Bitcoin symbols. Dogecoin.
Yep. All of that. Yeah. The Boston Breach one looks really dope, like the colors on that. But yeah, so basically every team is going to have their own special kit. The Surge one, look at that.
Very different and unique. Seattle Surge is the best one. It's a fucking shark underwater. There's like teeth at the muzzle. It's really cool.
Optic is by far the worst one. Optic and Vegas Legion are absolutely miserable. Actually, no, Vegas Legion's better because it has like a little like dice there because it's Vegas. So yeah, Optic is just fucking dog shit. It's green and black and it says Optic on it. Miserable. All the other teams did so much better.
Design. It's pretty basic, but it's a cute little design.
It should have been more green. It should have been way more green. Like Toronto's color is purple, and look at theirs is all purple. Optic, you think of like Optic green, and it's almost all black. So fuck you, whoever designed that for Optic. Huge missed opportunity there. But yeah, these look great. So CDL players should be excited about this. These are very cool. Yeah, I always think I'm gonna buy these, but I have Orion, so realistically I won't. But if I was a peasant like most of you are, I would buy these. Well, I think you pay cash with these and it goes directly to the teams, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not directly giving Activision money, I don't think.
Interesting.
Because that's how the CDL packs are. You paid $9.99. I think they get a cut of it. So, but yeah, these are great. If you're a fan of the CDL, I'm sure you're going to be real excited about this. Looks pretty cool. And those come out
May they look 2nd. Very good.
Yeah,
these are very well done.
Better than I thought they would be. So hopefully at some point they let them do operators and shit more than that. But yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
And then next up here, this is a tweet from OP Mark. We should have talked about this with the World Series of Warzone. I hadn't seen this yet, but he posted the prize payout format
for the grand finals,
which is a little wild. Yeah, so it is they claim it's a $600,000 tournament, I guess. So the way it's working is there are going to be 50 teams of 50 trios, and top 25 end up making money. Top 25 teams. So 50% of the teams that make it to the World Series of Warzone finals get money, which is a little weird to me. I think they're giving out a little bit too much money to the shitters. And I feel like this happened before, and we also talked about this, how they gave way too much money to the people just showing up to the LAN and getting fucking stomped on. I mean, if I'm in the World Series of Warzone Grand Finals, I can hide in a building and get 25th place and make some money. Certainly. I just won't fight anyone. I can do it. So I think it's a little wild that they're giving that many teams money. I feel like the top 10 teams should make cash, and that's it. First place should get so much more. So first place team gets 100 grand. Second place team gets 80. So close together, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. 100 grand, 80 grand, 65,000, 50,000, 36, all the way down to 25th place team taking home $2,500. I don't think you should get all those shitters that much money. I'll be honest. They don't deserve it.
I agree. And to back up that point, when we've hosted our Dropshot tournaments, what did we do? We gave the top 3 teams money begrudgingly, because I don't think third or second place deserves any money either. But since it was a community event, I was a little more lenient. We were a little more lenient. So we gave the top 3 teams, and only the top 3 teams, any money. And the first place team got 50% of all the money. So if we had a $100 prize pool, first place got $50. Second place got 35, and then third place got 15. And then 4th through 30th for our tournament probably got nothing because you're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
So the total prize pool here is $500,000, and first place gets 1/5 of that, 100,000. That should be 250 racks. And then second and third place should get some money. And then I think maybe top 10 would have been good.
Top 10 at the most, I think, should make. Yeah, fuck everyone else. Too bad you got shit on.
If you're a fucking loser, then you don't deserve money. Yeah.
Going back to the CDL skins, something I think may be true. Jakin is thinking the CDL packs are just Vaznev blueprints, which the more I think about it, that probably is the case.
It is all
It's
Vaznevs
just literally
the
for the
screenshot.
Vaznev.
If that's true, that's a massive letdown, but you're probably right, actually. Yeah. Because you'd have to make a separate design for every gun. So it probably
Holy
is.
fucking shit. So never mind, don't buy them. Jesus Christ.
Don't buy them anyway, obviously. But I think the way they could do that is if the team pack had a Vaznev and the AR blueprint. That would be okay.
Twack, yeah.
Because that's all anyone uses.
Maybe we get that next season, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
next
holy
game.
shit, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That pisses me the fuck off. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So
It does.
So if you're excited, yeah, never mind. Awesome. I hate them. Just anything I think is normal, they don't do.
Yeah. They're shit.
I mean, you sold tons of...
How long did it take for one weapon blueprint?
How many camos do they sell in BO4 that you could put on any gun that were insane, reactive? So don't give me the bullshit they can't put it on every gun. Fuck you. Figure it out. That's your job. Your job is fucking weapon art design. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Oh, god damn it, Bobby Kotick. Why'd you make it that way, man?
Yeah, it's just greedy execs.
Bobby said in the last shareholder meeting, he said, only put on the Vaznev. We don't want you guys working too hard on everything else. We want you guys taking lots of breaks. You know, we don't want to overwork you. So,
yeah.
Moving on, a lot of info here coming out from Charlie Intel. This is all going to be from them, and these are from an Activision shareholder meeting and more. So the UK CMA, which stands for something dumb, has blocked Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. This is a massive step back as the UK CMA was the biggest threat to the deal. So the TLDR, there are a lot of words here. TLDR is that the UK CMA believes that Microsoft's cloud gaming control, if they take over Activision, will be far too strong for any sort of competition. So this has nothing to do with a Call of Duty franchise. They talked about this a lot before. We talked about this, like Call of Duty becoming Microsoft exclusive. In fact, UK CMA found it that it is much more beneficial for Microsoft to have Call of Duty on all platforms, not platform exclusive. So it has nothing to do with that. It is literally just because they think they will completely control the cloud gaming sphere, and no one else can compete. It is, and
we did not see that coming.
I don't think most people did. Yeah.
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 So
because
the CMA, by the way, the Competition and Markets Authority, it is the equivalent of like an antitrust committee for the United Kingdom.
Got it.
So yeah, they're worried there's going to be a monopoly on cloud gaming.
Yeah, because they said they already have an estimated 60 to 70% market share in global cloud gaming services, which is already much stronger than its rivals because, you know, they own Xbox and a large portfolio of games, the leading PC operating system Windows, and a global cloud computing infrastructure, Azure and Xbox Cloud Gaming, which gives it important advantages to running a cloud gaming service.
Huh.
Yeah, another interesting thing out of this whole thing was that they talked about, you know, Microsoft or Activision had came out and said they want to get Call of Duty on like Nintendo Switch and shit, right? Do you remember that? And we're like, that's wild. Yes. And I think it was Activision themselves said like, oh, it could be on Switch like right now. It can run it. And I said, that's insane. So they talk about this, actually, the UK CMA. They talk about how COD is available on Xbox and PlayStation. We found these consoles compete closely with each other in terms of content, target audience, and console technology. We found that Nintendo's consoles compete less closely with Xbox or PlayStation, generally offering consoles with different technical specifications, and with its most popular titles tending to be more family and child-friendly. Nintendo does not currently offer COD, and we have seen no evidence to suggest that its consoles would be technically capable of running a version of COD that is similar to those on Xbox and PlayStation in terms of quality of gameplay and content. Some guys at the UK CMA can figure that out, and Activision is just lying to everyone saying, we can get Warzone 2 on the Switch. No, you can't. I have a $1,500 graphics card, and I get 110 frames on Al Mazrah. It can't run on a Switch. You're out of your fucking mind. They just don't believe anything they ever say. They can't put the dates. They can't put the day correctly in the patch notes. They definitely can't tell us that a Switch can run Warzone effectively, right? I can't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. The UK CMA figured it the fuck out, and Activision can't. That's hilarious. Or they're lying, which is much more likely. Yeah, but yeah, I think we had said pretty much.
And this
all
was
of that.
not about COD Mobile, from what I remember. I think they were specifically talking about like Warzone cross-platform right now with Switch. Essentially, I thought that's what it was about. Because obviously, mobile, Switch would do great for Warzone mobile.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. They specify Call of Duty generally. So yeah.
So let's be super clear: the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard, will happen. This is just going to slow it down. This will undoubtedly happen.
I'm not sure about that. So some tweets I've been seeing are that this is going to kill the deal, because if they can't get the UK CMA approval and they do it anyway, they won't be allowed to sell Call of Duty games to residents of the United Kingdom, which is not something I don't think either Microsoft or Activision would be willing to do. Yeah. I don't know if that's true, but I did see a tweet about that. So if that's the case, then the only way they get around it is if they change the mind of the UK CMA. Or another thing they could maybe do is have some kind of stipulation where they don't take over the cloud. I'm not sure I understand. I guess Blizzard has its own cloud gaming services that are independent of Microsoft right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they would have to allow Blizzard to create a breakaway company for the cloud gaming specifically, and Microsoft doesn't buy that portion. Yeah. And then the UK CMA would let it pass. So maybe that would happen. I don't know, though. I did not see this coming, because my position was that they would just grease palms, lobby, bribe officials, and then the deal would pass, even if it was going to be a monopoly. But turns out that didn't happen.
The thing is, these companies always figure out ways. They have smart lawyers.
You're right.
That's more what I'm getting at. Is these big companies always get what they want. This will somehow go through. Bobby, whoever owns Microsoft, the president of Microsoft, they'll throw a couple £1 million the way of these UK CMA lads. All of a sudden, they'll be like, oh, shit, yeah, you know what? This is fine. This is okay. Next thing you know, they'll have a new mansion in, the nice part of London, if there is one. There's not.
Or Bobby will just he'll send a picture from an anonymous email account of Jeffrey Epstein's black book opened and the name of half the people on the CMA highlighted in the book, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Because Bobby did go to Epstein's Island, allegedly. He's on the
list. That's correct. Bobby's name is, of course, also in that black book, but allegedly. And that's a joke, don't sue me. But I don't know. We'll see. That or a bribe. I think you're probably right, though. They'll probably figure out some way around it.
Or they'll, half of these people that are on the board of the UK CMA will be mysteriously dead in a few weeks. They figure out ways around it.
They'll commit suicide by 8 gunshots to the back of the head.
And his wallet full of hundreds
They will be
of
robbed for none of their possessions, and their watch and wallet will still be intact. They will drive their car at 180 miles an hour into a traffic pole and get ejected along with their engine from the car for no discernible reason. Maybe that'll happen too. Shout out to Hastings. But anyway.
Dude, speaking of the Brits, have you heard that Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds, they own that soccer club in Wales? Have you heard about that? They've owned a soccer club in Wales since 2021 now, but there's a documentary on Hulu about it called Welcome to Wrexham. Very interesting. You should watch it. But I just wanted to say, it is crazy how wild the soccer fans over there. It is a totally different world.
Yeah, they get active.
Like, we get some guy at Dodger Stadium hit someone else over the head, and Dodger Stadium is on full lockdown. It's on the news for years.
Gear.
These guys have meetup locations before games, and they just literally walk at each other on the street and start fist fighting. They're insane, dude. The whole culture over there around sports is nuts. They just beat the fuck out of each other all day long. It's crazy.
The English beating each other up, I'm all in favor of that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're from Wales, actually, yeah. Which is not the same thing. It's not. It's not England. It's not England. It's a different country.
Well, I know. I mean, yeah, sure, but it's
so they're not English.
Yeah. They are.
They made that super clear in the documentary because they said that. Rob was like, I didn't know Wales was a different country than England until we bought this club. I had no clue. Anyways, moving on. We love the Brits here. We especially love them now.
Well, yeah, actually we do now. Yeah, fuck.
We're big Brit lovers.
Yeah, I have no comment.
Anyways, moving on from Charlie until Activision Blizzard generated $1.3 billion in microtransaction revenue in the last quarter, compared to $1 billion in quarter one of 22.
Oh no.
Yeah, so they made more money. Yeah. Activision says MW2 premium sales were significantly higher this year compared to Vanguard. Quarter one in-game microtransaction sales in Call of Duty also grew year over year. Activision also confirms there's a full premium release coming this year. They still haven't said who's developing it or anything else. They just keep saying there is a full premium release for Call of Duty franchise launching this year.
In addition to Warzone Mobile.
And Warzone Mobile is also launching, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So that's been confirmed by Activision.
But yeah, so essentially, Warzone has a lot more players than everyone, including us at times, have thought, and they're making still more money than ever. So everyone's buying Black Cell, everyone's buying all the Ghost bundles. They are making a lot of cash, and their player base is still up there. So Activision's average player number was 98 million monthly active users, compared to this time last year was 100 million. So a little bit less than during Caldera, which is far too little than it should be for a brand new Warzone game under a Modern Warfare title. But there's still a lot of people, right? 98 million compared to 100 million at this time last year. That is the monthly active users.
That is still a lot of people, for sure.
So that's why the game isn't changing. Let's be super clear. Yeah, and they're making more money than last year.
Yeah, correct. That's it. So nothing will change, and season 3 will repeat the disappointments. Yeah, which was a point we made when we talked about that. Because if they keep making money, why would they change anything? However, March 31st, 2022, 100 million active users, monthly active users, to 98 million, March 31st of this year, is really bad comparatively. Objectively, it's not bad. That's a ton of people playing your video game. But comparatively, that is fucking terrible. Because like Tanner said, March of 2022 of last year was like the stalest point of Warzone 1. Like Caldera had been out for a while, and that game was like deader than Warzone 1 had ever been up to that point.
That was before all the quality of life changes that a lot of people liked in Warzone 2 mostly.
And now, March 31st of this year, brand new Warzone experience, super hyped up, crossplay with all the shit still. It's a new game, and there are fewer users than last year when it had been like 2 years of Warzone by then. Yeah. That's really bad comparatively.
On easily the most hated map. Well, I guess everyone was playing like Rebirth at that point, but with the most hated large map we've had in Warzone.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really bad. Mm-hmm. That's really bad. Yeah. So.
But yeah, the revenue's up from selling bundles, so doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, exactly.
So shout out to you guys buying bundles. Fuck you. If you complain about the game, fuck you. If you bought Black Cell, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Spend that money on our Patreon instead.
And last thing here, Activision expanded teams are delivering substantial post-launch content for both the premium game and free-to-play Warzone 2 experience. Warzone TM 2.0. New content modes and gameplay enhancements have had a positive impact on engagement. Really? Hold on. Yeah. New gameplay enhancement, huh? Yeah, that little dolphin.
Yeah, my really gameplay feels very enhanced.
And Activision is planning more compelling live services for the coming months. Got it. Cool, man.
It's just
big gameplay changes there. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get fucking another St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. You're gonna make the water green and call it a new fucking experience. Yeah.
So here's what we're gonna do. If any of you were dumb enough to buy Black Cell, what is Black Cell? $19.99 or $29.99?
$30.
If you bought Black Cell, donate $30 to us.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do as your punishment. So go to the dropshot.com. There's a donate link and send us $30 because you're not getting away with wasting $30 on Black Cell and not also giving it to us. So we expect those by next Thursday's podcast, and we will thank you. You don't deserve it because you bought Black Cell bundle, but we will thank you when you donate that $30 and say it's for Black Cell.
Yeah. Yeah. Mention that in the note for sure. Yeah. That's true. So we expect a minimum of like 10 of those, by the way.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that is it, boys and girls. Unfortunately, we did not get 100 subs on Kick, so there will be no more episodes of the podcast. The podcast is over. But if we get 50 Kick subs offline between now and Saturday, then the Dropshot will continue, and we will be doing an episode, as always, on Saturday at our normal time. Check our schedule on Twitter or in Discord or on YouTube. We're live on Kick now and in the future. So if you want to watch us live, do it there and give us money. And that topic for Saturday will be interesting. I think it's looking like the X-Defiant COD Killer discourse, which I think is a very exciting topic to talk about that we would like to get into. And for those of you who are patrons, we got a brainstorm coming up. So that one is interesting as well. We've already written most of the notes for our Warzone brainstorm, and we have a lot to say. I have a lot to say, and a lot of it's different than what I've been saying lately. So you're going to hear some new kind of thoughts, things to try, observations made, some of which is informed by a post-season 3 game. A lot of it, in fact. So that's going to be a good episode as well for those of you who are patrons. And if you want to be a patron, if you wanted no more ads, early access, and bonus episodes, and more, patreon.com/thedropshot. Thank you all for listening and watching. Stay humble.
Stay humble.